We are used to thinking of the universe's foundational code in binary, endless matrices of ones and zeros. But centuries before digital computation, Chinese philosophers developed their own binary syntax, the solid and broken lines of the I Ching. In the 11th century, a Song dynasty philosopher named Shaoyang codified this syntax into a massive text known as Mai Hoa Dịch Số, or the plum blossom numerology. Shaoyang treated the universe as a sequence of computable numerical variables. To understand how his system processes information, we cannot simply look at its predictive outputs. We have to reverse engineer its bedrock axioms. What we find is an ancient information processing algorithm. To see how it works, we are going to build it from scratch. The foundational variables in this algorithm are the 8 trigrams. To use them computationally, Shaoyang converted every physical observation into an index number. This text maps out the precise numerical sequence for these conversions. The first 4 trigrams, qian, dui, li, and zhen, correspond to the integers 1 through 4. Below them, the remaining trigrams, xun, kan, gen, and kun, receive values 5 through 8. This creates a functional substitution rule. If an observer notes a specific phenomenon, such as a mountain or a movement, they map it to its corresponding trigram index. By indexing physical reality to the integers 1 through 8, the system creates a computable array from the chaos of the natural world. Having established our base 8 variables, we need the logic gates that dictate how they interact. These are the new gong, or 5 elements: metal, water, wood, fire, and earth. These elements operate under 2 absolute rules. The first is the generative cycle, or sing. This is a continuous loop where each element feeds into the next. For example, water generates wood, actively increasing its energy. The second absolute rule is the overcoming cycle, or kak. This forms a secondary network of paths, where elements restrict or destroy one another. Here, metal cuts and restrains wood, neutralizing its output. These 2 intersecting cycles act as the hard-coded physics engine, forcing variables to constantly shift energy based on elemental alignment. To run calculations, these numbers and elements must be organized into a spatial matrix. The starting point is the ancient He-2, or river map. The He-2 diagram models the universe in equilibrium. It pairs odd and even numbers on its axes, 1 with 6, 2 with 7, creating perfect symmetry. Anchoring this structure is a central cluster of 5 dots. The He-2 is completely static. It models potential energy rather than the active, moving reality of actual events. To calculate active reality, the algorithm requires a second matrix, the Luo Shu, or Lu square. This represents the late heaven state. This Luo Shu diagram forms a 3 by 3 magic square, where rows, columns, and diagonals add up to 15. Below it, a table maps the base 8 trigrams onto the outer edges of this grid, leaving the center slot empty. This specific arrangement permanently assigns spatial coordinates, north, south, east, and west, to both our numerical variables and our elemental logic gates. The Luo Shu serves as the true calculation board. It is the dynamic map where variables and logic gates interact to produce a specific localized output. There is one final input factor required before the system can execute: time. In this model, time is called Kuai Qi, or seasonal qi, and it modifies the entire spatial matrix. Elemental power is never static. It flourishes or declines depending on the current season. When the system operates during spring, the wood element actively expands its influence. This triggers a cascading effect. Because wood overcomes earth, the earth element is forced into severe decline. Time acts as a final quantitative multiplier. It shifts the weights of variables inside the Lu Shu matrix before the algorithm reaches its final result. We now have the complete engine in motion. We input a base 8 variable, map it onto the spatial coordinates of the Lu Shu grid, and modify its relative strength using the seasonal timeline. The final output emerges from the sequence of deterministic steps. Shaoyang built a model where every observable event has a fixed numerical address, subject to the same cycles that govern the physical seasons. Mai Hoa Dịch Số remains a testament to an ancient, highly structured drive, the desire to find computable order beneath the chaotic surface of reality.